if it's too quickly.
Huh? Okay.
Okay, Saturn.
So the importance of Malik Siddiqui photography in his work for me is really, you can see in his work the independency of the country. You could see Bamako, you could see his style. And this is really came out of his work in the sense of seen as art, as I think in the past he was probably more like a local photographer. Was it?
And what are the pictures you prefer? What are the scenes you prefer?
As far as choosing his pictures, there's too many, to be honest with you. You know, there's so much, he's got such a big body of work. I mean, this one behind us, as you could see, is quite a known one. And for me, this really presents what I just said. It presents sort of independency. You can see people enjoying themselves. You can see his style. It gives you a sense of time as well. You can see it's like the 60s. But there's so much different images that really has different movements.
And the music.
Definitely, there's definitely, well, as people been to Bamako and know about the music of the country, there's definitely a feel of, you know, when you look at an image like this, you can definitely feel the rhythm of the country and the music.
What is important for you in your own work?
The importance of my work with Malik Siddiqui, well, I discovered his work later on in my life, and I think it was from Janet Jackson video that took his style of photography. I mean, for me, as I said, Malik Siddiqui, because he captured a time, and also, importantly, he's documented a period of time. So when I started to look at his work and I started to do studio work, I really wanted to trying to understand what he was doing, and not just, it's easy to just hang a backdrop and take a picture, anybody can do this. But for me, I sort of looked at him, he was a photographer that was in his city in Bamako and captured that time in his city. And I looked at myself and people around me, my friends that had been moved around different parts of the world. So when I started taking pictures, I wanted to kind of also, beyond trying to maybe just have pretty pictures, is to document this movement, this people being moved around, and also to kind of continue this style of photography with a story.
So he's witnessing a local, the village, the people, his friends, specific events.
Yes, I think, you know, if you look at his work, it's all happening mainly, and I mean, he's done exterior shoots, but a lot of his studio work is people coming to him. So it's probably friends or people want to have a picture for themselves. And then from that, he's obviously went outside to, as you could see, to maybe bars or some, you know, party places. So he's really captured between the inner space and the exterior space. And I think that's what gives his body work also an importance, because then it's taking his subjects outside the studio and putting them within the exterior to get the feel of the country. And
you always say that you're the next generation.
Yes, I think the reason I'm saying the next generation, you know, I was born in 61. My first 3 pictures in my life were, you know, up to the age of 14, I say. It was 3 pictures. One of them was me dressing up with my family, going to a studio in Larache, where I was born, and having our best dressed up to take a family picture to send it to my dad, who was living in London at that time. My first picture is me dressed up as a cowboy on a plastic horse downtown in Larache, where you had the local photographer that would be there taking pictures of the kids. And then you had the studio photographer that would do more portraits. And the third photographer would be on the beach for the summer, where you know, there would be like a few photographers with a few cameras around their neck going around, and you have memory pictures with friends. So these are the 3 pictures I have in my life. So I felt at least I've been a sitter of this style of photography. And when I started doing my work, especially when we're talking about studio photography, I had to recognize my journey, look at people like Malik Siddiqui, and then not to do something with a story, not to water it down, as I said, because if you look around, especially now in social media, there's so many people doing pictures with backdrops, and they're very pretty, and sometimes they don't have that story. So for me, I had to really analyze this, to, you know, say if I get my work compared to somebody like Malik Siddiqui, is to at least to have my journey with that. So when I look at my pictures, there's a journey.
Okay, that's on.
We're here at the museum. I've just chosen Fosso. You know, when I discovered Fosso, I remember this image. It was a striking image. Then when I looked deeper in his work, I realised he was the photographer and the sitter. And for me, this is like the next generation of Malik Sidibe, you know, the same, almost the same, a little bit younger, but really he took it somewhere else by owning ownership of being the African in the picture and taking the picture of himself. So for me, this was really sort of a break. It was a kind of a new thing. I mean, now maybe it doesn't seem that new, but when he, you know, when his work got shown, it really showed something new from Africa, and some people it was shocking for them because he's dressing up himself in all different characters. Sadly enough, I have to speak about my work. There's two pieces of work in the show. This one's called SUSA, S-U-S-A. It means Salam, United States of America. And basically, this was done during when all the stuff that was going on between Afghanistan and Iraq in America. It was an expression of that time of what I was thinking. I sort of took some of the iconic products from America, trying to make the American flag, and also the portrait of the girl that I have in the picture. She also has a bandana, an American flag bandana, and actually I've done artwork written Salam, which means peace. So really this was to kind of introduce this piece of work to say there's also Muslims in America, even during the difficult times. This was really an idea to present something that's, that can tell the world there is Muslims there and like everywhere else. And it's, as you know, peace is like, you know, Salam means peace. So this was really an idea of this body of work. This body of work is an extension of my body of work called Kesh Angels, which is Marrakesh for short for Kesh, and the whole body of work, Kesh Angels, is about the culture of girls on the bikes in Marrakesh. At that period of time when I finished the body of work, I realised there was no Arabic dolls. So as I was looking at other artists like Core and other artists that are doing from street art and doing toys, I wanted to create my own toy of the body of work I did. So I bought these fuller dolls that were normally dressed in European clothing, and then I bought some fabric, Louis Vuitton fabric, and I took it to a local artisan to make a kaftan, and I really set up a big brand names like Louis Vuitton in the background. The bike I actually bought from West Africa by work with artisan, and this is really a creation of you know, once you have a body of work and something else happens, this was really the result of Kesh Angels.